Good morning. Well, yeah, it's still morning. It is Friday, January 17th, and we got Arctic Blast coming next week. So we live in Louisiana, and it's supposed to snow next week. They say the temperature's going to get down to the 20s. I don't really believe it's going to snow very much, if it does at all. But I got some light colonies anyway, and I'm going to slap some Hive Alive on them today if they need it. So that's the plan for today. We're going to get out here to the bees. We're going to, I'm not pulling any frames because I don't want to risk anything. At this time of year, they got no way to get a new queen mated, really. So we're just going to lift some colonies, check some weights, pop them open, and if they need feed, I've got 8 Hive Alive patties, one for each of them bee colonies. All right, y'all, so we're gonna pop into this first colony here. It's an Apame 7-frame nuke that a lot of people said would not make it through the winter because it was so small. Let's see what we're working with. Oh boy, that's a pretty good cluster of bees. It's about 60 degrees today. It's very windy. I don't know if these guys need anything. No, I believe they'll be all right. I'm just going to close them back up. But I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4.5 frames of bees in that one. So that's good. That one's looking all right to me. All right, next up is another Apame. I'm gonna set it right there. This colony doesn't need any food either. So we're just gonna move on to the next one. This is another Apame. It's sitting right next door to that one. I mean, if this continues, we may not be feeding anybody today. First 2 have been good to go. They got plenty of food, so we don't got to worry about that colony. So all of these colonies were set up pretty much the same way. There shouldn't be much difference in them other than the box that they're in. So this is a 10-frame wood box with Apame top and bottom board. Let's see what we got going on here. I'm gonna go ahead and put some feed on this one. They don't have a whole lot. Well, maybe I'll just rearrange. Pretty calm bees, ain't much flying out going on. They have really taken to that sugar brick though, and are doing a number on it. So we've definitely got 1, 2, 3, probably 3.5 seams of bees here. Get them a little bit of smoke, just to get them off the top of the frames. That's how they eat the sugar bricks. It's pretty neat. This is the weakest one I've opened so far. I don't know if it's box related. They're not warmer, but yeah, probably in a couple more weeks we'll be able to get in here and take stuff apart and see what's going on. All right, so we've busted into 4 colonies and just check stores real quick. I'm gonna do the last 4, and if anything is different, let me adjust the camera here. If anything is different, I will take you in there and show you. But look what I just caught. I don't know what kind of bug that is, but he was crawling up my tripod. All right, so I just went through all 8 of the colonies out here. The first 4 we went through together. I did end up putting a Hive Alive fondant patty on that wood box right there. I went through the rest of the wood boxes. They didn't need it. They still had plenty of resources. The other Apamade that I went through off camera was good. I went through that big Hive IQ box that's the only double deep out here, and it's got the spacer on top so I can feed. They had less resources than some of these singles, but they still had some. So I went ahead and opened up a Hive Alive fondant and put on it. So shouldn't be no issues. All right. So like I said in the intro, it's January 18th, and we've got that cold snap coming. All of these colonies, I expect to make it through there just fine now that I've did the emergency feeding for the 2. And everything's in an insulated box, or has at least an insulated lid. So I'm not overly concerned about it. The plan going forward, well, let me back up. All those colonies were started with the OTS method, with post-solstice queens that Mel Desicone talks about. So far, that's been working like a champ. We did no treatments this year. Everything's coming through good. So here in about 2 weeks, I'll actually go through the boxes and see what brood patterns look like. We may be getting close to starting to put some boxes on. At least one of those Hive IQ, or excuse me, one of those Apamades was getting real close. I'm gonna go through, evaluate, see what needs to happen. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't have very much drawn comb at all. I'm maybe have 4 frames, so it's gonna be a adventure to get further up. I may do some OSBNs, opening the outside of the brood nest. There's some posts on Facebook and on B-Source about it. And there's videos on YouTube. I'll find out who it is and I'll link it. But it looks really interesting. I don't want to feed, but I need drawn comb. Flow's not starting yet. So I don't know. We'll see what's going on. But anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. This is actually the 2nd time I shot this little outro because my head was chopped off and you couldn't hear me because I didn't have my mic. I'm trying to be better, guys. Let's make some magic. Let's make some honey. Let's make some bees. It's Matt with the mullet. We'll see you next time.